What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on my channel. So this discussion video will be surrounding projects within football. So a good example would be the project that Mikel Arteta has endorsed at Arsenal over the last 6 years. Another one could be Chelsea under Todd Boehly on this whole youth project scheme. Let's just get straight into it now, shall we? So, a question for the panel. Let's say, have any youth projects in football been successful? 5 seconds to answer. No. The only one you could probably say is probably the class of '92, but again, that wasn't the whole youth project. They just brought in a load of youngsters, and it worked. Whereas now it's not working. You know, Chelsea's youth project has been going for what, 4 or 5 years. Has anything successful except from a Conference League and a Club World Cup come from it? Nope. Have we won any domestic trophies? No, because we've not won any in like the last 7 years. We won a Champions League, yes, but that was under Roman Abramovich. That wasn't under Todd Boehly. That wasn't under our scheme that we have now. Arsenal. Since Mikel Arteta's been it's whole been a youth project, you know, trust the manager, trust this, trust that. Is there to trust when the manager has only won 1 trophy in 6 years? And that was without his squad. That was with Unai Emery's squad. So it wasn't with his players. So this whole youth project thing is a whole, you know, media propaganda for managers, propaganda from fans who want to get themselves stuck up certain players, certain managers because they fancy them so much. They've got a fucking poster printed out on the ceiling and, you know, fucking knock one out to them every fucking night. They'll wake up with sticky bed sheets because they're all fucking creaming their pants over fucking Mikel Arteta or Liam Senior. Absolute shambles. How, for example, you know, we had Enzo Maresca, you know, won a Conference League, won a Club World Cup with Chelsea last season, you know, very, very good. This season, had a little bit of a poor run of games and brought in fucking Liam Senior out there doing Lego workshops and sticking post-it notes on, you know, kit men for the team, just for morale boosting and, you know, motivational speeches. Like Martin Luther King was you know, with some, you know, motivational speakers, they'll get fucking assassinated. So I don't get how and why these football clubs nowadays decide, you know what, projects are the way to go. Youth projects this, youth projects that. All they care about is getting in the top 4 because you earn probably more money, and you earn a lot more money in the top 4. I've literally been seeing teams in the FA Cup last few rounds fielding second teams because they think the league is more important. Now, question for everyone as well. Would you rather win the FA Cup or get relegated? Now, I'm probably not one to speak as I support Chelsea, and Chelsea are known for winning, well, not winning, but not being relegated. Let's put it that way. I would rather win the FA Cup than get relegated. That's a very, very bold shout, and I don't really care if anyone disagrees because that's the thing with football opinions. You could agree to disagree. Opinions aren't facts unless they're fact-based metrics. So, for example, fact-based metric of football would be, you know, what is the aim of elite sport? Is to win. That's a fact-based metric. How do we compare teams with trophies? How can Chelsea, for example, have an argument with Spurs fans saying Chelsea's bigger than Spurs because we've won more trophies? So, the fact-based metric isn't opinion; it's just facts. Simple as that. If you can't base that, then go and watch hockey. I don't know. But anyway, I'd rather win the FA Cup than get relegated. Why? Because success is more than staying in a division. Because people, you're going to remember, and the history books remember trophy winners, players who have been successful. But that's just my personal opinion. I think, you know, main aim of elite sport is to win. Why do we play football? To win. Why do we support our trophies? You know, enjoy the moment when you're winning. No one obviously enjoys the losing, but when you're you know, a City fan, for example, or a Real Madrid fan, Barcelona fan, Bayern Munich fan, you're winning all the time, which is obviously enjoyable. Football fans, football players, football managers can't get bored of winning. How can you get bored of winning? I mean, maybe in a sense that if you win, continuous competitions, for example, Pep Guardiola might get bored of constantly winning the Premier League. He'll go back to Barcelona or go back to Bayern Munich and win there. So football's just all about opinions, to be honest. But opinion, and one fact-based opinion from me, is that you cannot tell me a successful youth project or a youth system within football, within the Premier League, for example. So I'm just going to make this as a Premier League kind of thing. You have not seen a successful youth project team in the history of the Premier League, because it just doesn't work. You can't say Arteta's been successful when being at Arsenal. Yes, of course, he has won an FA Cup, but that wasn't with the youth project, because it wasn't with his team. That then year after, that was when the whole youth project and the whole PR brigade have been all over and sucking him off. Because you can't say that he's been successful after coming second like 2 or 3 times and 4th or whatever, because that's not success, because he's not won. Success in football is all about winning. You can't say you've been successful and been in the Champions League consistently, because what have you won? You've essentially lost. You've become 3rd or 4th loser. You've lost. Like, I've seen Spurs hyping up, and some Chelsea fans hyping up being in the Champions League. Why are you getting hyped up about being in the Champions League when you're not going to fucking win the competition? And then they'll say, oh, you know what? We'll sign better players. Signing better players in the Champions League is an absolute myth. Man United, right, signed Pogba and Zlatan without Champions League. Chelsea signed Kante without Champions League. It's an absolute myth that, you sign better players in the Champions League. It's not true. But that's just my take on things. I personally think my opinion is youth projects don't work, and youth projects should be stopped in football, because youth projects are genuinely just a PR machine. The Premier League, that's what I'm going to call it now, because it's just fucking PR after PR after PR after PR. That's all they want. That's all it is in the Premier League now. Just PR and sucking off, who's the best dressed manager, who's the best looking players, who's the best fucking this and that. It's all about the clicks and the money now in the Premier League. It's flawed. Absolute flawed fucking competition. Which is why it isn't the best league in the world. It's probably the most watched league, but it's definitely not the best league in the world, that's for sure. Anyway, that's just an open discussion. If you disagree with me, if you agree with me, put it down in the comment sections down below. I'm not too fussed. Let me know what you thought of this video, and also leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Yeah, see you in the next one. Peace out.